It's another year for Freedom and Wholeness Mission New Year's Food Basket. What we normally do, we put a flyer in circulation so you'll know that this project is coming up. This is our last project for the year. And once we do that, we contact our first donor, which is our box people from Decatur. Grief Brothers work with us to see that we have boxes to put our food in. And we contact the media and try to get it in the paper so you'll know that our New Year's food basket is coming up. So with that being said, I want to just share some thoughts with you before we go into what actually went into the box. We have, as a mission, 7 different community projects, along with our food and clothing programs, which is in and ongoing every month. We have our drinks at the cross, Robes to Fit, Easter baskets. We have our open door luncheon, along with the cultural hat show. Then we have our Education for Life workshop. These are the 7 projects we have for our mission. We have our Pics of Socialization blanket fair, and we also have a market day where the little kids ride the ponies and just like a little mini carnival. Then we have our mission day, which is always at Lincoln Library, downtown branch, and there the kids play 8 different board games and they win some nice, gorgeous presents. And this project we're going to talk about in its entirety in just a minute is our last project of the year, which is our New Year's food basket. But to share some more thoughts with you, we normally get a line of people every year, and I go out and I just, with my little camera, take pictures of all the people in the line for the New Year's food basket. And these thoughts are just to turn over and say to you, I'm hoping that some of the recipients that was in the line for our New Year's food basket this year and last year and all the previous years will also come and patronize us in the other 6 projects. Because we don't want you just to follow this mission just for our New Year's food basket. That we are a community service. We are a 501c3 charity organization here in the city, and we give this service to the community. We have 7 different projects, and we have our food and clothing programs. So we don't want you to just walk out of our door and know that only thing we do is a New Year's food basket. And this was kind of like turning over to some of the recipients this year because we had a lot of new recipients. And we just want you to understand that we like to see you in line and waiting for our workshops and for our other projects, just like you do for our New Year's food basket. Now, we know that most of our projects are free, but there are fees to be paid for our luncheons and our cultural hat show. It's a $15 fee. And if you don't think you can have that much funds, once a year, you can save up $30. Just save a little here and a little there. And when those 2 projects come up, then we like to see you there. We like to see you come in. So this is just an invitation to some of you as our regular recipients who come to us every year for our New Year's food basket to say to you, come to some of our other projects. Don't just wait till our last project of the year and then get in line and come and get your food basket. We enjoy giving the food basket out to you. Again, it's just one of our projects. But we want you to know more about the mission than just that we give out a food basket. Because some of the recipients in line, you know absolutely nothing about this mission. All you know is we give out a food basket. And that's not too good. We want you to know more about us, and we want you to get involved with our work. Because the work here in this city is just as important as any other organization, the Catholic Charity, you name it. Whatever kind of charitable work has been done out there, we think that our work is just as important. And we'd like, again, to invite you into the other projects, not just this one project per year. Now, with all that being said, we'd like for you to see what went into our box. This box is designed for basket is designed to give you a boost for the new year. This is the whole purpose behind it. We want to say to you, when your new year comes, here's some extra food for your kitchen. Eat it and enjoy. Again, I want to go back to the box. This is from Grief Brother in Decatur, Illinois. They provide the box for us, and we just really enjoy working with that company. They've helped us down through the year. It saves me from going from place to place using my own personal car, which I was going to bring a picture of, so you can see my little bitty car that goes across Springfield every year, picking up this food, bringing it to go in this box. We don't have a van. We don't have a truck or whatever. I just use my little card to pick up all this food. Now you times that by 75 people and you see how many trips I have to make to bring this food to go in our box. It takes quite a bit. So we're going to look at the food items. We have cabbage. And believe me, these are big, gorgeous heads of cabbage. This year, something special happened. We was able to give each person 2 heads of cabbage, not just 1, but 2. So they're different sizes, and most of the people who came, they got, you know, the 2 different sizes. Some of them got the big ones and the little ones. Some got 2 big ones, just how, whatever, you know, their choice was. So we are so glad for these big heads of cabbage from Jeffrey Aldred, who works with us every year. And we're so glad to put those in our box. And the whole purpose of this box, again, is to, not just for the New Year's purpose, but is to invite you and encourage you to eat vegetables, because we think that should be included in your diet. Next, we have corn on the cob, and everyone gets at least 6 pieces of corn on the cob. And this is a purchase from Robert Cisco. And yummy, yummy, yummy. I don't know about you, but I love corn on the cob. And I had one person to tell me and say he didn't eat corn on the cob because it reminded him of a piglet eating corn. I said, well, you know, everybody to their own personal opinion, but I think corn is something that should be in our diet. So we have the yellow corn on the cob, and it fits right into our box, and we're just so happy to have that every year. So we put this in our box. And then we're sticking with the vegetables. We have the white potatoes, and we try to give everyone at least 6 potatoes. And sometimes we have a little bit more. These are Idaho potatoes, and sometimes we have a few more that we try our best to make sure that all our recipients receive them. Now, I don't know about you, but in your diet, I know it's a fattening item in it, but it's an item I think that is just America. I mean, what would our kitchen be if we didn't have potatoes in there? So these are the white potatoes that we have, and we try to give each recipient a good portion of potatoes. Because most of the people we work with, they have families, they come in with the public aid cards or what have you, and some of them have 2 or 3 kids. Some of them have households even larger than that. So we're kind of glad to be able to put potatoes in our basket. Now we don't stop there with just the white potatoes. We have the red potatoes. Now I know sometimes people say, well, what do you do with the red potatoes? Well, you can do all kinds of things with them. You can bake them, you can make pies out of them. Oh, you can eat them raw. And some people say, eat them raw. Oh, they're delicious raw. Just peel them, slice them, and eat them raw. And sometimes some people will put a little salt on them. I don't recommend that. But there are those that will put a little salt on the potatoes and eat them. But you can actually eat these raw. Make beautiful pies. You can bake them, like I said, you can fry them. There's just so many things you can do with them. And I know there are a lot of people out there that say, well, I eat the white potato, but I don't eat the red potato. And most of the time it's because they don't know what to do with the red potato. And that's why they tell you that. These are jumbo potatoes. When you go into the grocery stores, the local grocery stores, you're not going to see this size potatoes. You're going to see the little small ones. But this is a purchase from Holton Produce, and they have the big jumbo potatoes, and they're just so delicious. You bake them, put your little butter on them, and sit back and enjoy. Makes a beautiful, beautiful treat for you. And it's good for your diet. Now we're going to look at lettuce. Now you can't have a mixture of vegetables if you don't have some lettuce in there. And each person got a gallon bag of lettuce, shredded lettuce. And you can see this has the carrots and the broccoli and all this over in there. All you have to do is just rinse it off, put your little dressing on it, and sit back and enjoy. So we definitely have to have lettuce in our box. I mean, I don't know what you think about it. I tell the children all the time, I said, I don't even think I'm eating a meal if I don't have lettuce on the table. And sometimes they kind of tease me about that. I said, I do not want to eat my meal unless I have a green salad. So I guess that's from, my upraising in Tennessee, because we had our garden right in the front of us, and we'd go out in the garden, get the tomatoes and everything we need to make a salad. So every day we had a salad on our table when we ate our dinner. So this is just something we figure that everyone would enjoy, and I think they did enjoy with this being in the box. Now, along with the lettuce, the people had a choice. This is the romaine lettuce. Now, everyone did not get this. Everyone got a package of lettuce like this. But there was a few of these that we was able to hand out to the people. And I know some of the viewing people might say, well, I didn't get that because we didn't have as many of this as we had of these right here. So we make no excuse, but this is a good lettuce too. And we had a few heads of lettuce too. So the lettuce come in like 3 different forms. We had the shredded lettuce, we had the romaine lettuce, and then we had the heads of lettuce. But everyone got this. And then a few people got the romaine lettuce. I think I'm saying it right. And then they got the head of lettuce. Next we have celery. And this is a good treat. I know some people, they like, they have peanut butter or whatever, however you want to eat it. But I think celery is just something that should be added into your diet. So everyone got a nice portion of celery, just like this. So we add this to our box. And then we had a broccoli tray. And this is just gorgeous. We had the purple broccoli this year, and the white broccoli, and the green broccoli, all 3 of them. All you have to do is just open the top up, and just take and pour you some dressing in there, and just enjoy. So this was really, I think, one of our better treats in the vegetable area. So we're really happy that we was able to do that for our recipients. And we have carrots. I mean, what can you do if you don't have carrots? 2-pound packs of carrots. Peel them, eat them raw, do whatever you want to do with them, but just enjoy them. So we was able to give all of our recipients this. It's a 32 ounces, a 2-pound bag. And this make a nice wholesome meal. And you can see as I go along how you can take these vegetables and kind of combine them to make your meals. So we put this in our box. And of course we had onion rings. This is something that was kind of new to us. And you freeze these, and of course you can fry them or do whatever you want to do with them. And they make a nice little snack, a little treat for you too. So we was able to add this to our vegetable list. We have 14 vegetables total. Now we have tomatoes. I want to get through the vegetables. We have tomatoes, and everyone got 2 packages of tomatoes. Had a generous donation of tomatoes. So everyone went away with at least 8 tomatoes, and we was real happy about that. And I don't know what you think, but that's just, to me, just something that should go with your green salad. So we add this to our box. And then we had cucumbers. Everyone got a cucumber, large cucumber. And you can kind of slice and peel this and put it together. And yummy, 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 good. Just good, good, good. So we add this to our vegetable list. And next we have an acorn squash. And some of the people came in, they didn't know what to do with an acorn squash. But there are so many different ways you can do it. You can stuff it, you can boil it, you can do so many things with this squash. It's almost like the butter squash. But you can, we added this to our diet too, to our vegetable list rather. So we're gonna put this in our box. So you see our vegetable list is going on. We've got 1 more vegetable, and this ends our vegetable list. And these are turnips. Now I don't know about you, but I love turnips. And oh, they just, so good, so good, so good. Just peel them. Some people don't peel them, I know. Put them in a little boiling water, put your little salt and pepper on there, and cook them maybe about 15 minutes, and then just sit back and enjoy. So we added this, and you see all different sizes. So I really, really enjoyed seeing this in our box. So this ends our vegetable list, and we will continue our New Year's basket shortly.
Mission News continues in a moment on Access 4. We now return to Mission News here on Access 4.
All right, we're going to continue our New Year's food basket for 2008 for our recipients. We want you to see what went in our box, and we really, really appreciate the donors reaching out to us, because without their help, this box could not have been put together. We're going to look at our meat category now, and in our meat we had beef cubes. And you can see that it's a small portion, but it's healthy there. I don't know about you, but I love beef. You can take this, make you some beef and noodles. You can bake them. You can do quite a bit with this 1 pound of, I said it's 1.5 pounds of beef cubes. And sometimes people call it stew meat. You can get a chuck roast you want to and cut it up, and you get the same results that you see here in this package that I'm holding for you. So I think the recipient was glad of getting this. And this is one of our standard meats for our boxes. We always try to put beef cubes in there. And then we're going on to our next meat that we always have in our package, and that is ground beef. And this is a 2-pound pack of ground beef. Now, I don't know about you, but 2 pounds, that's quite a bit of ground beef. Once you take this out of this little container, you can see it's quite a bit of meat there. And just so that if you're an audience will know and be comfortable with the volunteers that work with us, we always work with our plastic gloves to make sure that, that we're following health codes, because this is just something we have to be concerned about these days. We put this in our box, and then our next standard meat that we have is chicken. Now, everyone gets a whole chicken. You can fry it, you can boil it. There's so many things you can do with the chicken. So these are our 3 standard meats. No, we do not have the big hams. We don't have the big turkeys. We don't have all that. But we do have these 3 standard meats that we present to our recipients. Sometimes we have had hot dogs in there and bacon. But we normally stick with these 3 standard pieces of meat. And we're so happy to add this to our box too. So now we have our meat and all of our vegetables in the box. Our next group of food is our pasta. And in our pasta, we have macaroni and cheese. This is a box that we feel that just belongs in here. The kiddies love macaroni and cheese. So we add this to our box so that when the kids go home, they're like, hey, mac and cheese. And so we always try to include this in our box. So we put this in. And then staying in our pasta group, we have rice. Now, we always have to count this rice out, and every recipient gets 2 cups. This is the long grain rice. We normally get it from the Asian food store. And I think next year we're going to have to get 200 pounds instead of 50 pounds so we can fill the bag up. But the 50-pound bag of rice give each recipient, of our 75 recipients, 2 cups of rice. So everyone gets 2 cups of rice. And rice is a staple food, and we're glad to have this in our box. So we add this to our New Year's food box for year 2008. And the next group of food we have is bakery. And sometimes I think people kind of done this stuff when it comes to the bakery. We have incredible, delicious little bread. Isn't that gorgeous? And look at the container they put it in. That is just so thoughtful. And if some of you have not went into that store, you need to go in there, meet the owner, Patrick, and you can just see it's just a pleasant atmosphere, and the food is good. So they work with us every year, and we're so happy about this. And I know I'm calling a few names, and I don't want the other donors to get offended, because sometimes you call some names, you don't call them all, then people start wondering, well, you didn't call everyone's name. Well, and sometimes I have to just stop doing it, but I find myself doing that from time to time. But this is the bread they donated us to this year, and they gave us 1 for each basket. And I just think that is just so, so wonderful. So we put this in our box. We try to keep the bread on the top so it won't get crunched. And staying in our bakery group, we have big cheese crackers. This is a snack. So when you go home and you fix the food, you'll have something to kind of snack on while the parents are fixing the food for you. So we add this to our box. And I don't know about you, this is a nice cracker. You can put, it's like the box said, you can dip it, you can top it, or you can cheese it. So you can do what you want to do with it. It makes a nice, nice treat. So we put this in our box. And then to finish that up, we also have pie. We never ever get enough pie to just go around 75 whole pies, but end up sometime cutting them in 4s. So this is a pecan pie. This is a winter pie, and we've been from the beginning, 16 years ago, trying to get 75 pecan pies. We haven't made it yet, but one of these days we will. So either the person got 1/4 of a pie, or sometimes they got a whole pie. And this is what it looks like. We had a few whole pies, and we had some quarter pies. So we put this in our box. And the pies are all different flavors. We had apple, we had peach, we had different flavors of pies. So we add this to our box. But the bakery doesn't stop there. We have one more treat, and that is our cookie tray. We have a cookie tray filled with chocolate chip cookies. And they kind of rumble here on me. But there is 5 chocolate chip cookies and then 5, I think those are sugar cookies. Yeah, sugar cookies. So each person went away with 10 cookies. And we were really, really happy to see that in our box this time, because chocolate chip cookies is one of the favorite cookies for the children. You got to give them credit. They know chocolate, and they do enjoy the chocolate. We're going to move on with our list, and in our next group of food, we have spread, because once we put all this in here, you got to have something to go on that. So here we have, and you have to kind of like give this a shape. This is Bernstein's restaurant recipe Italian sauce. Now we had 3 different sauces this time. Normally we just have the one kind per box, but this time we had 3. And what's so special about this is from Big Line. And the owner there, or the manager there, Kevin, is just so sweet to us. He helps us every year with this dressing to go in the box. And we're so glad of that. But this time we got a variety, 3 different kinds. And this is just one kind that I brought along so you can see it. So that goes in our box. And here we are with fruit. You know, you got to have some fruit now. And we have, everyone got 2 bags of oranges. There is no way possible that you could have a box without oranges. You got to have oranges. You got to have some fruit in there. So I said, well, Christmas just left and the kids just ate, some fruit, but that's good. We gave them 2 big bags of oranges. So each family went away with at least a dozen oranges. But listen to this. We not only gave them two bags of oranges, we also was able to give them a 3rd bag of oranges. So they went away with 3 bags of oranges. And we're so happy that we was able to provide that fruit for them. So this goes in our box. See how our box is filling up here? Now, along with that, we had grapefruits and some big, gigantic Washington State green apples. So they got 3 grapefruits and the apples there. And this was, I think it was a special treat. Our box is getting fuller and fuller. Each recipient, what you see me putting in this box, each recipient went away with each one of these food items that I'm sharing with you. And we just feel so glad about this box, and for the donors who gave us the helping hand. We're so happy for you that you're able to help us out. So we put this in our box, and we're not quite done. We had cough drops. I said, well, what is cough drops doing in the box? Well, we put them in there because our box giveaway is in the winter, and sometimes the children come in and their little nose are running. So we thought, well, cough drops is not really a medication. So we decided we'd start putting cough drops in there, maybe about 8 years ago. And it worked out real good, because some of the people come now and say, do you have cough drops? So we add this to our box, and we're real happy about the donors that help us with the cough drops every year to go into our box. So we add this in. Everyone gets 1 bag of this. And we're still not quite done. We have a soda in our beverage area. I'm going to pull this lettuce up here, put it right here. And we had a variety of soda. I mean, it was just all different flavors. Now, we like to have one flavor, but this time the people went away with, strawberry, Coke, Pepsi. It was just all different flavors, root beer. But it makes it easier when it's all one flavor. I think it makes the box look better too. But we were still glad that everyone got a soda. So we put this in our box, and we've got one more item in our snack area, and this is Lay's potato chips. And everyone went away with a big bag of Lay's potato chips, so the children could have something to snack on when they go home, and the parents are trying to prepare the meal. And instead of you telling the children to sit quiet and hold still, do this while I'm cooking, instead of you doing that, give them some potato chips or give them some cheese crackers. There are some little things in here they can snack on while you're fixing the meal. I wouldn't suggest you give them the pie though, but at any rate, they have something to snack on while you're preparing the meal. This box is intended, again, to boost your new year, and hopefully that you'll be able to appreciate what the Freedom and Holders Mission is trying to do to help you. Now, with that being in there, we make one more New Year's gesture. We give each of our recipients a New Year's card because, again, this is a present. We want you to receive it as a present. We want you to know that we want to boost your New Year's with food. I have seen the days in my time that I have had my Christmas dinner, guests over, and when Christmas was over, dinner was over, I'm looking around trying to see, what am I going to eat for New Year's? And if you haven't been there, you keep on living and you're going to see. That happens. It happens because your cabinet can be bare if you're not careful. So we give them a little card to let them know, listen, we love you, we're trying to help you, this is part of our work, and we want your New Year to kick off right. Kentucky Fried Chicken gives each one of our volunteers a certificate. I didn't bring a model with me, but give them a certificate so that they can have a dinner. When they finish doing all this work, they sit down and they can eat a meal at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I think that is so thoughtful of them because volunteer work is just what it is. It's volunteer work. You're not getting paid. So when they sit down and eat the meal, they can say, it was worth it all. So we're glad for the donors. You continue watching the program, you're going to see the names of a lot of the donors that go up the screen. And again, we thank you, and we thank you, and we thank you for helping us put year 2009 basket together. I'm running the counter up together because without your help, once again, we wouldn't have it. Now, there's one other thing that we done. We had a pizza. I don't have a pizza to show you, but the pizza company chipped in, and it's just gorgeous. So on top of all of this, there's a big pizza that goes on top of it. And again, they're all gone, but we thank the pizza companies that helped us, pitched in and helped us to help families in this new year coming up. So with that being said, I bid you a happy new year.